Welcome back, everybody. It's another episode of The Business Therapist. I'm your co-host, Chris Angel, here with your host, Arnell Tanyag, as always. Hello,
yes,
sir.
I'm doing good,
Good, me too. I'm selfishly excited for this one because we're talking about some juicy things that I think most of small businesses across America wrestle with.
That's right.
And that is that they are the business. They don't own a business. They are the business.
That is correct.
If they're sick or they can't come into the office, like a lot of times the business stalls out.
That's correct.
What have you seen? Like, as you've worked with people, talk me through this, because you kind of came up with this topic today about, are you the business or do you own a business?
Yeah. What I find out is all last year I was looking at my client base and I was like, the people who really are doing really well, they own a business. They have processes, systems, they're hiring staff. They know their time and money, create the ideal lifestyle is having process systems, finding the right people. Great. Love them, work with them. They stay with for years. The ones that I struggled with, and I didn't realize it, they say I own a business, but really what they're saying to me, I am the business, Arnell. I said, what do you mean I'm the business? It's me. I just want to make enough money and get enough time that replaces my income. But I don't really want to hire staff. I don't really want to put process and systems because I am the business. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? And so I looked at my client base over the last 4 or 5 years, and it was interesting. The ones who left me after 3 to 6 months or a year because they just got to a certain point where I make enough time and money. I'm the business, but then I don't want to grow. I don't want to. And I think a lot of the times there's a lot of owners that they always say it's my baby, it's my business. I said, well, I own a business, but it's not my baby because I want the business to do really well so I can get out of the day to day and I can hire staff and people do other things. But if I see it's my baby or I need to be valuable in the business because I can't admit it or didn't realize I'm the business, then you're never going to really hire people. You're never going to really hire staff. You're never going to take time to work on your business, do processes.
Yeah. I feel like tell me if you see it this way. I feel like there's in the seasons of life, when somebody starts their own business, they're typically coming out of having worked for somebody else. So they like the idea of autonomy. It's my way. It's my thing. I had this vision. I birthed it. It is my baby. And so for a season, there is this place where I am the business and it's a sense of pride and I'm excited about it. Then we come into the next season where if we haven't set up a business, processes, systems, procedures, then what happens is we start to be a slave to the thing we created. And what we created for freedom is now actually a prison.
That's correct.
Right? And now we have a choice to make. Either you're going to shrink back down into a place that is sustainable.
That's correct.
With you as the business, or you're going to make change and turn it into a business.
That's correct.
That has processes, systems, and doesn't rely on you.
Yeah, I see that a lot. Or you're worse. Here's your word. You think you own a business and you're hitting a certain level, but you don't want to give up. I'm the business. Because if I have to give up, I'm the business. I have to change my belief, my mindset. I have to learn new skills.
Yeah, I
have to do other things. I have to hire people. I have to get, how they say in running, you have to first, second, or third win, when you're running a marathon. Yeah. When you get to that level where I'm like, okay, I got to transfer. I'm the business. I got to hire staff. I don't really know what to do because I'm making good money and I have enough staff, but I don't really want to push it through it. And I tell them, well, you're at a cap. You'll never make more money and you're not going to be able to get more time. Right. And if you really believe in your long-term, like your important work or your vision, you're going to make the shift.
Right.
You have to make the shift.
Yeah, because I think if you ask people, what do you really want in life? People would say, I want meaning, purpose. I want to make a difference. I want time. I want freedom, flexibility. In order to have all those things, you've got, if it's important work and it's purpose and meaning and impact, then you're going to have, then the impact is going to be bigger than you and you won't be able to accomplish that by yourself. So you're going to need other people.
That's correct.
And if it's about autonomy and freedom and I don't want to be a slave to my business, then you're going to need people for that. So either way, you are going to have to get past that place of you are the business if what you want is a life that is bigger than where you're at now.
That is so correct, because what's happened is that I think when they say I start a business, then they go, it's my baby, it's who I am, and they become I call owner centric. It's all about them. And there's some business owners who they're great at selling. It's all about them, all about them, all about them, but they can't keep staff, operation staff and people. And then I got some business owners who are smart enough to realize I'm making enough money, have enough people, but they're not putting any time in the business because they don't really have to, because they got it to a certain level.
Yep.
Because I think they believe I'm the business. I'm the guy. And I tell you can't scale if you're the guy or the girl.
Right. Well, let's say for those that are, because I know really where you've started to put energy and attention is into those who want to own a business and not just be the business, right?
That's correct.
And so, and I would still say, and I'm making this number up, but 80% of businesses, maybe even 90% of businesses are the owner is the business, but they don't want to stay there. They want to have a business that they don't feel a prisoner to. So where do people, is it ego? Like, is it fear of change, fear of having to create systems, fear of not knowing what to do? Like, what keeps people from crossing over?
I think what teaches them to cross over, it's funny you say that. I think it's the fear of the unknown, fear of delegation, fear of losing control. But then I think it's ego, because they think, it's funny, like everybody thinks, I experience, I know if I'm working with a client, I'm gonna get phenomenal results, right? I'm gonna get great results. I can do it quick and fast. So my way is the best way. But the problem is we look at, like, I go, okay, I don't know if anybody can do my way. But I tell my clients, dumb down your process so that anybody, and I tell them this, I say, if I'm going to work for you, right, you have a process that I can go, like I was talking to one of my mobile details, you have a job, if I'm going to work for you for half a day, can you show me how to clean cars? Yeah. Okay. Do you have it? Like, do you have a manual? Do you have a video? Are you going to hands-on? Because I'm a smart guy and I went to college and I'm not dumb. I'm eager to work for you.
Right.
If you can't dumb down your process so I can, get great reviews from your clients and they tip me really well, and then I'm making you look good, then whose fault is that? It ain't the employee. It's because you're so fixated on it getting done right versus creating a business standard, a standard that the business can do.
No, you're right.
And I think a lot of it is because we know we can do it better, but the reality, what does the business standard, what's the business have to do to get that 5.0? It's not what Arnell can always get a 5.0 because he wants that 5.0, that validation. But the business, if you have business with the right people and process, they can get the 5.0. You don't have to be there. You can be like, hey, that's my business. I'm not in the day-to-day. It's great, And they don't think like that.
If I went deep for a minute on this, I feel like nobody likes to suck at stuff. And when we get really good at something where we are the business. When we're really good at it, nobody can do it as good as me. So I'm just going to do it all.
That's correct.
Right. All of a sudden, for me to own a business, I'm going to have to bring other people in and dumb down my system and be able to have. And it's not for me at least, it's not a natural thing to think in processes and systems. Like, how do I dumb this down? I don't know. And all of a sudden, I start to feel like I don't know how to do that, and that feels like I suck, like I'm not good at that. And so it's very painful for me to try to duplicate my processes into a system because trying to create a system doesn't feel natural. And because it doesn't feel natural, I don't like it. I feel dumb. I feel bad about myself. So I just keep doing the things that make me feel good.
That's correct. And I think a lot of it has, you're right. A lot of it, because they want to make themselves feel good because it's their baby. I'm the business. I want to feel good about it. But then when they look at 3 to 5 years later, I'm the business. I'm working 68 hours a week. Yep. I'm not taking any time off. Right. I don't understand why.
That's totally it. Yeah. That's totally it, man. Because you go from a place of like, this feels good. We keep doing the things that feel good. So we're like, I'm firing on all cylinders. I'm getting results until I've done so good that I'm buried in all the work. And now I don't feel good about being buried. And the thing that used to bring me joy because I was good at producing it, now, again, just feels like a prison.
You're right. Because when I a couple of years ago, I was always going to network events, meeting people. So when I joined my career, I said, I'm going to build me a sphere of influence or center of influence.
Yep.
So I've been working on that. That was part of my 90-day plan, really validating relationships, getting really going, find opportunity. Instead of trying to go to all the networking events, go to very targeted ones, develop relationships that could work win-win, and really just focus on, okay, don't do, because what happens is we're so good at doing, when we're the business, we're so good at doing what we're comfortable with that might have worked 10 years ago, because it's comfortable, we like doing it. But now you're not going to be able to do that consistently or get the same results. And I think we're so comfortable how to feel good versus what we need to do to really grow the business.
Right.
And I think today with social media and all that stuff, which is still good, but I think it gets people drowned into feeling good versus really focusing on what they have to do to grow that business if they want to get out of that situation they're in.
Totally. Oh, that's so good, man. Well, I feel like this is the type of thing, you listening to this can already find which camp you're in. Like you are either somebody who you are the business and you are fine with that. Okay. Or you are the business and you're starting to feel the pains of that.
That's correct.
Or you have made that crossover and you own a business now, but you know that it needs sort of some refinement for how to go to the next level.
That's right.
I think Arnell, it's probably a great place to invite people to have a conversation with you, because I know that you do this type of work. If people want to connect with you to figure out if you're a good resource for them to move to the next level, how do people reach out to you?
Yeah, the best thing they can do is just reach out to me, call my office line, which is 757-752-8169, or go to my website, Tanyag, TANYAG.net. And it's interesting you say that, Chris. I tell people that at the end of the day, I just want you to admit, if you're the business and you're happy, hey, let's have, it's great.
Good for you. Yeah.
But if you're not sure and you want to grow a business and you really want to look at it, let's talk about it, because there's pros and cons of both. But at the end of the day, I'd rather have you informed and make a choice than find out you regret that you didn't know. Yep.
So good. Dude, I love that. So good, Arnell. Well, again, as always, a great episode. Thank you for your time, your wisdom, and continued success, my friend.
And thank you.
See you next, Chris.